Hey guys, welcome to another coronavirus update. Just wanted to let you know where I'm at, what's going on here in Hanoi. So I've gotten around to the point where I am putting in, a lot of the schools have opened, and I'm putting in applications in a lot of places, putting my CV out there. For whatever reason now, or here, the job search is done on Facebook. It seems like there's a lot of Facebook groups that people look for jobs. It's kind of weird. I haven't checked LinkedIn, obviously, actually, because I'm not sure that anybody's on it. I had an account years ago, and I can't get back into it because for some reason those things really seem to want high security for your profiles. I don't know why. But anyway, I make a new account. Oh dear. Sorry, I just unplugged my phone, and editing software sucks up batteries. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so I go every day over to the coffee shop, and I'll show you the coffee shop in a little bit. I'm just throwing these little shots in here, kind of at random. I think I may do them in the order I take. Maybe put them in the order I took them, just one after another, because I try to do these things quickly. I might at some point start spacing these updates out when things settle down a bit, which could be soon. Could hear from a job soon. Oh, it's also worth noting I'm not just looking here in Hanoi. You can travel around Vietnam now, no problem. So I'm putting it all up and down the coast, and I would not be mad if I got on a beach in a beach town. There are plenty of them up and down the coast. I even found the place that I stayed in before I came here to Vietnam. They had one school that was looking, and I don't know. I may try that again. I'm also going to try some other websites to see if that are more like legitimate job websites besides Facebook, because they put these ads in Facebook, and they give you an email address, and I've been sending off to email addresses, every day. I go into the coffee shop and use their Wi-Fi, and because the Wi-Fi here in the hotel isn't great, but also it just helps to have something to look at while you're trying to work, because it gets really monotonous in the hotel room. I don't know if you remember, but I showed you I have one window in this room, and it looks into a stairwell. So it's not the best situation. But anyway, so I go in the coffee shop, and I'm just sending off my CV to email addresses, and not one of them has replied. And I know they get I know they're getting more than just my CV, but they cannot be getting so many that they can't send out a reply. Thank you for sending. And most of these jobs, actually all these jobs, because I don't bother to apply if it's for fall, because I need something now. All these jobs say we're hiring in May, so okay, that means you've already made the decision. If I applied last week, you've made the decision. So at least send out uh, you know, a form email to the people that applied and say we've picked somebody, but not one of them has replied. So, but that's job hunting, isn't it? That's why I always liked being in China. There's 10 jobs for every applicant in the world of English teaching, anyway. Um, which kind of brings me to my next thing. So that's the job hunt here, and I'm gonna continue looking every day, and I don't know about my staying, but on the thing about China being great for job hunting or for English teaching, that I think I've kind of half mentioned it before. Maybe I don't know if I went into too much detail, but yeah, I had an idea with a friend a couple of years ago, and it never went away. We just never kind of got it off the ground and figured out what to do about it. But we wanted to recruit teachers English teachers from the United States to come to China, because it is such a great environment for teaching. I, on the one hand, when the coronavirus finally passes, there's going to be a lot of people looking for jobs. And I would love to get into that business now. It wouldn't just be something for us to do to have a business, but it would be a way for a lot of people to get paid to spend a few years while the economy recovers in the U.S. and spend a few years getting a paycheck and having a pretty decent experience. I just hope that U.S.-China relations, by the time this is all over, and this could be up to next year. It's not like, when I say over, I mean like there's not extra virus floating around and people can legitimately come over and fly over, because there's low flights now. There's not going to be very many flights between the U.S. and China or any kind of international flights for a long time. Because, disease and all. So I'm hoping that will, when that passes, that things will start again. And when we get to a point where, international travel has actually legitimately returned and things are possible again, that U.S.-China relations will be in a good enough place that we can recruit teachers in the U.S. to come to China, because I think it's going to be a good option. But being in Southeast Asia is not a bad option either. You do get paid less in Vietnam, so if you're looking to save money when you go back, it's not quite as good a place to be as China. But I don't see that there's going to be any harm done to U.S. relations with other countries. So, if not China, Vietnam is good, and also, like I said, being in Southeast Asia, there are far more smaller countries, so you got a lot more options here. It may be a good idea for us to be thinking about doing some kind of business, recruiting teachers to Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. I don't know about Myanmar, honestly. But Indonesia, Malaysia, don't think that they need it in the Philippines, unfortunately, because the Philippines are absolutely beautiful. So if they did, that would be great. But anyway, yeah, and even like Hong Kong's not in a great political situation now, but places like Hong Kong, Macau, Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, those all have higher standards. But if you're a teacher, if you have teaching certification, and you're looking for work, that is a great option. And even if you can't make enough to save, and a lot of in places like Japan is pretty expensive to live in. From what I've heard, people tend not to have a lot of extra money if they take the teaching option there. Of course, you're living in a first world country, and if you can't find a job right now in the U.S., that's a pretty good option to teach in Japan for a year or two while the economy recovers. I think there'd be a lot of people that would jump at the chance to do that. So I mean, the option's still on the table. The philosophy might shift somewhat, but yeah, I think it's a good idea, and I really hope to get into that. So I want to pursue that at some point with the friend that I was going to do it with. But as always, it seems like the immediate future is just so pressing that it's hard to get anything done on that front. I waver between thinking that I have nothing but time, and so don't worry about it, and I have no time at all, so I need to get the immediate future taken care of. Like right now, just finding a job. But honestly, there's only, when you're scrolling through jobs on websites, there's only so many that are practical options that you see every day. And you spend all the hours you can doing that.
Huh? This looks more like Saigon.
The rest of the time, the rest of the day, I should be dedicated towards setting this business up. It wouldn't be an impossible thing to do. I just get on it, gotta get it done. And also, I also don't know what to do. So I've never started a business before, so it is kind of slow going here at the beginning. But anyway, that's an option and something I hope to get around to. Let's see, one more thing of importance here would be my gout. I wanted to update everybody on the gout. I'm taking the allopurinol. I've been taking it for maybe 2 weeks now, and I think it's working. I'm not completely clear on how it's supposed to work, but I feel like the big arthritic lump that's on my foot, not the swelling, but just the lump on the bone, I feel like that's going away. It's dissolving, and that's kind of the description of what it's going to do is make that go away. But as the medicine dissolves that, you get pain as if you're having a gout attack. Not a full-blown attack. It's not excruciating, but that's why you have to start out with half dosage and wait till that goes away. And once you get rid of that thing and you're not having pain anymore, you can go to a full dosage of 1 pill a day. I've got 300 milligram pills. You take those 300 milligram pills and it goes away. And it goes away, and then you start taking the full dosage of the 300 milligram pills, and then you can eat normally, or at the very least not worry about what you're eating. So as long as I don't, try and drink a keg of beer or something, I may even be able to drink beer at some point in the future. But at the very least, I can not worry about avoiding the laundry list of things that you can't eat when you've got gout, and it is a long list. Let's see. This is a train station that I have. There's 2 train stations in Hanoi. Basically, one track goes through town. One of them goes to all the rest of Vietnam. And the one I'm at here, you'll see the train station in a minute. Let's just swing around. It's actually a newer, nicer looking train station than the other one. And it goes to China. And it does go to a few other places in northern Vietnam. It's not Chinese, so it's probably not pronounced like that. But, yeah, I went up there and found that the other day. I should say I was trying to learn Vietnamese. I've slacked off substantially since my gout attack, but before that I was doing pretty good. I plan to pick it up again. I'm going to try and do more than I did before. I think one of the things I fell victim to when I was in China for 5 years is all those ads on language learning software that tell you 15 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, you hardly need to do anything. And I just foolishly fell for those, and I was doing my 15 minutes a day, like one lesson a day. The problem is those things are so quick, you don't really have time to even get, that in your head. You're not really even thinking. This is the coffee shop, by the way, that I go to. You can't even get in the mode of speaking that language before you're done. And so you really are never going to pick it up like that. I'm not sure that an hour a day is going to be enough, but that may be all the attention span that I have. So I'm going to go for an hour a day. When I pick it back up. I just haven't done it yet. I'm trying to focus my energies on job hunting. And I'm going to try and start up a web page for the teaching recruiting business. I talked earlier about how it could be either Vietnam or China, but it could be both. So it's something to think about. And either one of those either one of those places are fine. But also, we could start here if wherever the first country is that people can go to, here or in China. Yeah, I'd love to expand all over Southeast Asia, East Asia, wherever. Any place I can find um, a way to work with schools and find places for people to work. I mean, I was thinking about how great it was for me when I was unemployed and did not have very good prospects in Salt Lake City for a place to work, and getting kind of desperate. And I see I think a lot of people are going to be heading for that soon. I know, the jobless claims have gone through the roof. Oh, this is I don't know if it has a little cutesy name, but there's little bars and restaurants and coffee shops along this stretch of railroad. And this is actually, even though it doesn't look like it's defunct at all, as far as I know, it does not have an active train, because there are no trains that I know of that go from China all the way to southern Vietnam. But if you're sitting on that railroad track, that is the segment that in one direction is China and the other direction is all the rest of Vietnam, all the way down to Ho Chi Minh City. This is the beer street. I'd like to put together videos for cities like this too. This is one thing I want to do. To just show the places where you'd be living, because one of the things that's so difficult for people about signing up to come to the other side of the planet, whether it's Vietnam or China or what have you, is that they've never seen anything about it, or they know very little about it, including the schools themselves. And it seems like it might help to see some of it. Like, I had not the first clue of what Changzhou was going to look like before I got there. It turned out to be a nice town. It was fine. But boy, I was flying blind. I had no clue what was going to happen, what was going to be there. Anyway, that's my update. Still don't have a job, putting my stuff out there as much as I can. Gout's doing better. It's not completely cleared up, but that's partially because of the medication. I'll end up a lot better off if I keep taking it. And I'm trying to find other ways to create an income, hoping that this little business thing works out. But just a job in the meantime would be great. Okay. I will see you guys again in a week.